Good morning students, welcome to the video lecture series of effective technical communication. We have started chapter number 3, technical communication. In this chapter we have studied what is the meaning of technical communication. We have also studied about the public speaking, which are the main points that we have to consider while preparing the contents of the public speaking. Then different types of methods in which we can deliver the speech. So this was about the public speaking. That was the first topic. Our second topic of this chapter is group discussion. Okay, now what is the meaning of group discussion? In group discussion, it is an event, it is a communicative situation in which a number of persons are sitting together and they are discussing and sharing their views and opinions on a particular topic. So this is known as group discussion. Okay, in this, the persons that are sitting, they are given a common objective. A topic is given and they have to discuss about that particular topic, and this is known as group discussion. Okay, they have to speak about the common topic. Okay, where it is used? It is basically used in your academics as well as your professional life. For example, if you want to discuss any topic, okay, in your organization, while you are working in any company and you want to discuss any topic, okay, so for that purpose group discussion is required. Then similarly, it is one of the part of the recruitment procedure of the company. Like if any company will come for placement, then they will be conducting 3 rounds. Group discussion, written test, personal interviews. So it's one of the rounds of the placement process. Okay, fine. Which are the important qualities during a group discussion? Let us discuss one by one. The first one is knowledge of the topic. The group discussion will be effective if you will be having a deep knowledge of the given topic. So it is required to prepare about the current affairs, should have the deep knowledge of that particular topic. Basically the topics of the group discussion are current affairs. So you should be well informed about that particular topics, right? Okay, it is advisable to keep yourself updated about the current affairs, and that will help you to speak with confidence. If you will be having sufficient knowledge, if you are having sufficient knowledge of that particular topic, then you will be able to speak effectively, right? So knowledge of the topic is important. Second one is communication skills. See, these all skills we have studied in chapter number 1. Verbal communication, non-verbal communication, listening skills. So if we talk about the verbal communication, the words and sentences that you are using should be appropriate. There should not be any grammatical mistake. So you have to make sure that you are communicating with proper grammar and proper sentences. So this is about the verbal communication. If we talk about the non-verbal communication, then your body language should be clear, correct body language should be used, okay, and you have to also use the correct gestures. If you are talking in the group, it should look confident, okay, if you are talking, it should look confident. It's not like that you have to look down and talk, okay, so you have to take care while you are speaking, while you are communicating with others, you have to also maintain the gestures. And the third one is listening skills. Listening skills are also important. If any other member of the group is speaking or sharing his or her views, then you have to listen it properly, and you can also note down the points. So make sure that you are not repeating the same point again. Okay, so listening skills are also important. The next thing is the group behavior. How you are behaving in the group, that is also important. How you are behaving, how you are cooperating with the group. Because many people are not able to control their emotions. Emotional maturity is very much required. Emotional outburst should not be there. If you are speaking on any topic, you should not show that you are very angry. Okay, the anger should not be visible on your face. So emotional outburst should not be there. You have to maintain the cooperation with all the members of the group. Okay. You have to respect the views and opinions of each and every member of the group. This is also important. Okay. And the last one is leadership potential. If we talk about leadership potential, the employer who is coming to recruit you, okay, he or she will select the candidate who is good at confidence. Means if he or she is having leadership qualities, then that particular person will be selected first, and he or she will be given priority over the other candidates. What is the reason for that? Because the leadership qualities are a plus point to get any job. Okay, so while you are discussing in a group, you have to try to become a leader. So if you are initiating the topics, if you are initiating the group discussion, and if you are concluding the group discussion, that means you have some leadership qualities, and that qualities can fetch you a good job. Okay, so employers will prefer a candidate who is good at leadership. Okay, by starting and ending the discussion, you can show that you are initiator or you are a good decision maker. These are some of the important points of the group discussion. I will show you one small video in which the main points of the group discussion are covered. So here is the video for you. Okay students, let's move on to the next topic, that is presentation strategies. Now what is the meaning of presentation? It is a process of presenting a topic to an audience, that is known as presentation. Right now the thing that I am doing, okay, I have prepared a PPT and I am giving a lecture. So this is also one type of presentation. So if you are presenting a topic to an audience, is known as presentation. Okay. What is included in a presentation? The presentation basically includes of a demonstration of a project, then demo of a product, then introduction of any topic, then lecture or speech. It is normally meant to inspire the people, motivate the people, persuade, inform. So these are some of the reasons why the presentation is done. Okay. Now the presentation for different audience is different. Okay, it is helpful in the academics as well as the professional life at many occasions, and the contents to be covered are different for each and every occasion, right? For example, if I want to give a presentation on a particular topic, like I want to share some knowledge about the ethics in engineering, then I have to prepare to give presentation on any new product, if I am working in any company and I have to give presentation on a new product that has been launched, then the contents will be different. So for different occasions, the contents are different. Okay. Fine. So in order to make the presentation effective, a thorough preparation is required. Okay, and the preparation of presentation is basically divided in 3 phases. First one is planning, second one is preparing, and the third one is presenting. So first of all, you have to make a plan that what you are going to convey, what you want to present. Second is prepare the contents, and the third one is presenting, right? Let us study this one by one in detail. The first one is planning. Again, the planning is divided into 3 parts. The first part is defining the purpose. First of all, it should be very clear that what is the purpose of the presentation. Okay, it is either for creating awareness or giving instruction or motivation. For each and every purpose, the presentation is different. So first of all, you have to make sure that you are very much clear about the purpose of the presentation, right? Second one is analyzing the audience. You have to first of all focus on the target audience, that where you have to present this. If I have to present a particular topic amongst the students, then my contents will be different. And if I am going to convey the same information to the higher authorities, for example, any experts in the industries, then my contents will be different and my way of giving the presentation will be different. Okay, so you have to also analyze the audience, that amongst whom we have to give the presentation, and you have to also note down some important points, like you have to also remember the names of the particular person amongst whom you are going to give the presentation. Okay, then analyzing the venue. This is also important part. First of all, you have to make it clear that where you have to give the presentation. If you have to give the presentation where only whiteboard is available, right? So what you have to do? You have to prepare your contents according to that location, according to the equipments available at that particular place. Okay, you have to also check whether the prime requirements like board, projector, screen, whiteboard are available or not. Okay, second one is preparation. First of all, based on the purpose and the audience, you have to prepare your presentation. You have to collect the information as much as possible from the journals, websites, then research papers. These all things you have to refer. Then you have to maintain a proper sequence. For example, if you are starting any presentation, then first of all you have to give the introduction. After introduction, the main body, and at last there should be conclusion. Introduction should be effective such that the audience is curious to listen the whole presentation. While you are giving introduction of any topic or the topic that you are going to present, then it should be very effective. Watch some videos of Sandeep Maheshwari. The starting of the video, the start of the video is so much interesting that you are excited to attend the whole session. You are excited to watch the whole video. So your introduction part should be very much effective and attractive such that the public gets more interest in knowing the full presentation topic. Okay? And you have to also remember all the 5 C's of the technical communication that we have already studied in the previous lecture. And the last one is presenting. First of all, while you are giving presentation, you have to give introduction of yourself. Okay, and you have to also mention the topic and what is the agenda of the presentation. You have to also use the visual aids like pointer, then board, projector, whiteboard, screen. So these are some of the visual aids that you can use, and that will make the presentation more effective. Okay. You have to give enough time to the audience to look at the slide, to read the contents of the slide. So you have to give sufficient time for the one slide. You have to give sufficient time for the slide to get completed so that the audience can read that slide. Okay, to make it more attractive and effective, you have to also use the diagrams, proper charts, you have to use proper animations, then videos. So in short, you have to make the contents more effective. Okay? And you have to also take care that you are not filling up the whole slide with contents only. Less write-up, more figures. What you have to keep in mind? Less write-up, more figures. Okay, and the last point, while you are writing on the board, okay, it should be very clear and you have to write in two parts. For example, if you are explaining something and for that purpose you need a board for that, then you have to mention it clearly. You have to divide the board in two parts and you have to write accordingly. Okay, so this will look more attractive and effective. So these are some of the presentation strategies, and these strategies will be very much important for you in the project presentation that is going to be covered in the higher semesters. So this was about the presentation strategies. Okay, in the next lecture we will study more topics. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.